It is official. It's Drew and the Brutes as it were, and a returning Kevin Owens against the Bloodline in a men's War Games match where everything will get all hectic. Has Ozzy understood a thing since the 1970s? This much is clear. No, he hasn't. War Pigs is the theme for this pay-per-view that is a premium live event Survivor Series. Let's just get to this review. I'm John Rickton with my review of WWE Smackdown from Hartford, Connecticut. And the show closing brawl sealed it. We will see you this weekend for the Royal Rumble. Actually, we'll see you in January for the Royal Rumble. And we will see you next weekend for Survivor Series, where it all gets all hectic. And enough of that. I guarantee you that Ozzy Osbourne hasn't been able to retain any memory since at least 1975. Remember when he was one of the celebrity guest hosts in the latter half of the 2000s, and Sharon Osbourne asked him if he remembered Mania 2 when he said, "British Bulldogs forever"? He didn't remember that. I guarantee you he doesn't even remember being inducted in the Hall of Fame. I forgot he was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Enough about Ozzy Osbourne. Let's talk about this show. That actually wasn't that bad. So Drew and the Brutes are talking and everything. And even though Sheamus and Drew beat the holy piss out of each other and were bully, Claymore, Shillelagh, all that. Now they're friends. Because War Games. So, are you feeling Brutty, you feeling Pooty, or are you feeling Oozy? If you feel any of those for more than 4 hours, consult your doctor immediately. He's an honorary Brute or Poot, I don't know. It's War Games. Sammy shows up to a big pop. Says Oozy in the sky with diamonds. Okay, you know what? Maybe I can ease up a little bit on the fact that I have held against Sami Zayn this whole idea of having the Jackass match. And I know that a lot of people found it entertaining. I hate it, absolutely hate it, and I didn't want to see Sammy on my television for a while. He has been killing it in this role and has been doing some stuff, even if it's not necessarily my cup of tea. He's been doing some entertaining stuff, so there you go. Maybe I'll continue to hold a grudge. Maybe I will not be Bret Hart with Goldberg, but Bret Hart has every right to be upset at Goldberg. So who's the fifth man? Sheamus says, "You're probably gonna shit yourself." I mean, he didn't actually say that, and I apologize to every Irish person watching this, all 5 of you. And then Ali took on Ricochet in a SmackDown World Cup quarterfinal match. Ali had injured ribs and was beat up after being thrown around like crazy by Bobby Lashley, who's a heel, and he's throwing him around and wrenching and wrenching and wrenching. And Ricochet took it easy on him. And then Ali decided, I'm going to bow up and hit him. And then I decided to hit him from behind. Ali is saying in his head, doing this narration in the third person apparently. But Ali will hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him. And they kept hitting each other, kept doing some good stuff. There was some hard-hitting stuff, some flippy shit. Okay, this is probably one of the better matches that featured all that flippy, floppy shit that actually can draw, unlike what, the strong bro man thinks. And there was a nice, backcracker off the ropes, big old superplex. There was a variation of the Falcon Arrow, not the Michinoku driver. If you hit the Michinoku driver, Cole, it would have been a whole lot deadlier. Ali probably wouldn't have been walking. Koji clutch by Ali. And then we get, Ricochet being all pissed off. And eventually, the 450 from Ali misses. And then a shooting star where Ali basically has to lay down. He's standing up and then he gets flopped down by the shooting star. Bit of a weird finish. Ricochet advances. Good fight. Good fight and good night. Wait, that's a celebrity death match and a show of respect. The Usos, well, Jay, they're upset at Sammy. We need to be on the same page. And then Sammy comes back and does the weird whatever handshake thing he does. And Jay was having to turn away because he was going to laugh again. While Solo does his best promo work by literally just standing there. Solo actually can talk. I just think it's good that he's just a silent but deadly type. That sounded less, immature in my head. Kayla's with the New Day. And then Imperium, of course, naturally, they want to cleanse the ring of New Day. I don't even have to say it. World War II type gimmick wanted to cleanse the ring. Yeah. It's going to be a 6-man tag later. So, by the way, we get the World Cup. The World Cup starts this weekend. The coverage starts this weekend in Qatar. Qatar. Fuck Qatar. Fuck anybody that thinks this is a good goddamn idea. I'm sure there are good people there, but the backwards thinking government and the homophobia and the fact they hate women, they hate a whole bunch of stuff, and they're a backwards country, at least as far as the views of many. Yeah, fuck Qatar. I don't know anything about it. If you happen to be watching this from Qatar, if you are one of the good people, great. If you are one of the people that thinks backwards and thinks stupid, you're a fucking moron. So, Cross took on Moss. Emma tried to pump up Moss before. Take that as you will. This is going to lead to a mixed tag match eventually, isn't it? Probably. And Cross Jacket wins it. God, they are trying really hard with Karrion Kross, and I don't know why. Borean Cross, as it were. Emma runs down after some officials try to separate the whole goddamn thing. Maybe we're going to get Emma versus Scarlett. I mean, I've seen Scarlett work on some indies. She's not awful, but she is honestly better getting involved in spots. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. So, then Bray comes out, does his usual stuff. Look, I know people like Bray. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad if you fans are enjoying it. It's the same shit. It's no different. It is no goddamn different. He feels a little bit more free to do what he wants any old time. And then here's LA Knight to try and save and salvage this. He says, well, Bray, you headbutted me last week here. Apology accepted. He slaps him. We're even. And then Bray tries to offer a handshake. LA Knight slaps him a 2-for-1 special. And Bray's all upset with a horror movie stare. And that's where Bray should be. Not in wrestling, because he's still Bray Wyatt. And we've seen everything we can see from him. Want to be in horror movies, that's fine. All right. Shayna makes her entrance. The Usos basically confront Cross. Are you the fifth man? No, I'm not. And I'll come after Roman on my own. That's a really stupid idea, but whatever. Cross is not known for having really good ideas. Shayna, with Rousey the Raccoon, took on Shotzi, and I know what they were trying to do with this match, and Shayna could work. It's a lost cause of trying to reinvent or reignite, any interest in her. In all honesty, not her fault. And Shotzi, this was not good. It was filled with distractions. Rousey needs to go after Mania. Just go. You do not need to be here anymore. She is not any good. She doesn't care. And, of course, at one point, Capital Gonzalez shows up, a.k.a. Raquel Gonzalez, and then we get the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, the surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Of course Shayna loses via roll-up. Why wouldn't Shayna lose via roll-up? Just roll Shayna up the instant the match starts. She always loses via roll-up. It's just so stupid. So stupid. It's going to lead to a tag match next week. And LA Knight is talking to Megan. He's leaving. And then for some reason, he's exiting out the door, and apparently, we were in a void. Apparently, Hartford, Connecticut was in a goddamn black hole, because suddenly Black Phone Bray is right there, and he doesn't see him. And then we come back, and LA Knight's laid out under a whole bunch of rubble and everything. But he doesn't want to give in to the temptation and the anger and everything, and just go do horror movies. Do horror movies. Please. Soul Split. I know this whole split personality thing may work for some people. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not for me. Imperium versus New Day and Braun. Oh boy, Braun and Gunther, and they made Gunther seem afraid of Braun. I'm not saying that people shouldn't, be a little bit intimidated by Braun, mainly because if you tried to show him words, he probably couldn't read them without help. And the guy's an idiot. But goddamn, they made Gunther look like an idiot here. Kaiser got pinned. Look, Gunther has to demolish Braun. I mean demolish him. There is no reason for Gunther to look scared of Braun. I don't care how much bigger Braun is. Gunther's better. He's definitely faster. He is obviously a way, way bigger asset to WWE, but nevertheless. So Braun then coughs during a promo, because I guess he has some phlegm in his throat, or he's choking on his own bullshit, and Ricochet says, don't look past me, and the other flippy floppers. So there you go. Next week, Ricochet and Braun Escobar versus, well, it's going to be Pete Dune. Shotzi and Raquel versus Ronda and Shayna, and Drew and Sheamus versus the Usos for the War Games advantage. And then we get Pete Dune versus Sammy. World Cup quarterfinal. They do their stuff. We get a big old brawl, big old fracas. Pete Dune wins, and then we get Roman coming down. We'll see you this weekend on the Royal Rumble. Roman comes down, demolishes everybody, and is all ready to spear Sheamus, and then suddenly KO's music hits, and Kevin Owens comes down and lays some people up, and then gets laid out with the Superman punch after he stares Sammy down. This feud will never, ever end. Yes, it will go on and on, my friends. And then, after Roman Superman punches him, then, after all this fracas, Owens manages to hit a stunner on Roman, stands tall, there you go. Okay, they are definitely going to go full bore in on this. And I give them credit. They're going to do something with Owens and Sammy. Who's going to cost who the match? I don't know. We'll find out next weekend. The show was fine. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.